Hey, it's the 1st of May. How you doing? It's Thursday, May 1st, 2025. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and another drop-dead gorgeous day is heading our way. We topped off at 72 on Wednesday, which was a little cooler. Tuesday we had 76, yesterday 72. We'll be right back up on the other side of that. We'll be about 76 or so with lots of sunshine. Big ridge of high pressure has moved directly over us. Not going to last very long today and most of tomorrow, and then tomorrow night it's going to shove on out of here, and a huge trough is going to pay us a visit. This thing begins in the Gulf of Alaska, this trough I'm talking about, and goes all the way down to Southern California. Needless to say, we'll be affected a little bit on Saturday for the Stew Milk Growers Grand Parade. By parade time, by 11 a.m., we should be dry, but we could get some light rain in the early morning hours on Saturday. But by 11 a.m. when the parade actually begins, we shouldn't be under the influence of any kind of wet stuff, we hope. It's going to be cloudy, though, and a little breezy on Saturday. Go figure, the worst day of the forecast is Saturday, but that's okay. Sunday looks good. Another ridge of high pressure comes in. On Monday, we'll be right back up into the lower 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. All in all, it's been just a stunningly beautiful stretch of weather, and as we used to say, the hits just keep on coming. Details on the way. A lot of news to get to. Some stories you maybe didn't see at last night's evening news. We'll have some of those for you. Mariners, wow. They've won 15 of their last 18 games. Took it to the Angels yesterday afternoon. Highlights of that, plus the prep lineup. And it starts tomorrow. Tour de Bloom. 6 stages over 5 days. It begins tomorrow up on the Waterville Plateau. So we're going to play the interview I did with Ace Bollinger, who's in charge of putting together Tour de Bloom, which has just grown exponentially since it began about 13 years ago, and has now become one of the signature events of the Apple Blossom Festival. It is pretty cool. Who's kidding who? My conversation with Ace. And it's Thursday. Pause for Pets. Patches the dog needs a permanent home. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. It is tour time. With our PTZ cameras, we're going to pan, we're going to tilt, we're going to zoom, we're going to look at the Wenatchee Valley proper. Not a cloud to be had. We hit 72 yesterday. Our normal high is 67. We've had a very warm stretch of weather. Sunrise this morning was at 5:43. Sunset will be at 8:13. That's exactly 14 and a half hours of daylight. The days will continue to get longer, but not in the dramatic way that we've been seeing over the last, say, 6 weeks or so. We'll be gaining a little over 3 minutes of sunshine a day, or daylight anyway, I should say. It's still going to get longer, but not quite as dramatic with our sunrises and sunsets as far as time is concerned. Camera number 2. Back to Monitor we go. Good morning to Monitor. The peaches and the apricots and the pears and the apples and the cherries, they have a nice little home right there in Monitor. The soil is good and there's lots of water. The 2 things that orchardists need to grow things. Good morning to Monitor. Keep up the good work, folks. And there's Cashmere in the background. I'll give him a little wave there. Camera number 3. Hello, Lake Aniat. That's what happens when they bury your town with the reservoir behind Rocky Reach Dam. Of course, the original town of Aniat was buried when the dam went in, and so they said, you know what, we're going to move your town for you, and just for the inconvenience of flooding what used to be there, we're going to name the reservoir Lake Aniat, even though it's the Columbia River. And who's kidding you? The Columbia River is now just a series of reservoirs now. Good morning from our Around the Rock camera and camera 4. Billy Goat. Bill E. Goat, USA. On a clear day, you can see forever. I think Robert Goulet once sang that. Good morning to our friends up to the north. Let's check in here. Omak, you're at 45 degrees, very little wind. Our forecast high today is going to be at least in the mid-70s. Could get warmer than that. Omak has not hit 80 yet this year, but they could today. Everybody is going to get to at least 80 tomorrow before the cool down begins. And the temperature variation between our afternoon high on Friday and our afternoon high on Saturday is big. In fact, let me show you. From the National Weather Service, here's what it looks like. Sunshine, lots of it all day, high of 76 degrees. We will take that. It's really hard to stay inside on days like today. 51 for the overnight low tonight. One more time on Friday. If we get to 81, and I think we are, we could even get warmer than that. That would be the warmest day of the year so far. We hit 80 1 week ago on Saturday for the Technoplex Youth Parade. So Friday looks good. Friday night, in the overnight hours after the sun goes down, that is when the high pressure ridge is going to slide off to the eastward side, and that is when this broad upper level trough, which is just ginormous, moves on shore, and that is why on Saturday morning we could get a little bit of light rain before the parade begins. They think it should be done, if we get any at all, it should be done before 11 a.m. It's going to be cloudy on Saturday, and it's going to be windy. We'll have a northwest wind about 13 to 20 miles an hour, gusts above 30 on Saturday, especially on Saturday afternoon. And then it moves right back out again, and we start the transition back to sunny and mild weather. 69 on Sunday. The next ridge of high pressure will be here and sitting pretty by Monday, and there we go again, 75, 79, 81 on Wednesday. So again, kind of ironic that the biggest day of the Apple Blossom Festival, the Stamilk Growers Grand Parade, we will see cloudy and cooler conditions. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have a whole bunch of news for you. Don't go anywhere. The news is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect, no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
Lots of sunshine, 48 degrees, upper 70s today, lower 80s on Friday. Big cool down, clouds and wind on Saturday, then right back to sunshine on Sunday, the last day of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Just about 9 minutes after the hour, Wenatchee Valley College professor Derek Sheffield was inaugurated last night as a poet laureate for Washington State. Sheffield is a writer, he is a poet, he is an editor, he's a resident of Leavenworth. He was named Poet Laureate by Governor Bob Ferguson for the next 2 years. He'll be spending those 2 years promoting the art of poetry statewide. A lot of his students helped him share favorite poems at Wenatchee Valley College's Grove Recital Hall last night. Sheffield, who's known for his work celebrating nature, had this to say.
I'm going to show you now the sticker that's going on my car tomorrow as I begin my 2 years. Yeah, what would he do? And lastly, so it is a challenging time. In many ways, as we face it together, let's not forget to remember to give some of every day to joy, to get outside. One of the great writers of our region, of our bioregion, Brian Doyle, said, if you're feeling depressed, if you're anxious, if you're sad, go outside. In about 15 minutes, you'll feel a little better. In my experience, he's right. Breathe and make poems, read poems. I think we all need to practice gratitude the way we practice a jump shot or a forehand. Gratitude. Flex that muscle. So we get better at it.
A rural Quincy man is suspected of managing a drug lab inside of his home. 43-year-old Jason Robert Bessel was arrested on suspicion of possessing and manufacturing methamphetamine, as well as the psychoactive drug DMT. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say they searched Bessel's property in the 15,000 block of Road 9 Northwest, that's south of Quincy. They did it back on April 21st, and there they allegedly found drug lab gear, as well as a psilocybin mushroom crop. They also seized 29 firearms and what they characterized as explosive-making materials. The search of the property was briefly stalled because investigators came across a hand grenade. The bomb squad determined that the grenade was inert. Bessel remains free ahead of trial on $100,000 bond. Washington's Labor and Industries Office held its annual ceremony last week to honor laborers in the state who died in the line of duty. The event was attended by Governor Bob Ferguson and included honors for Robert Mike Spurrell of Kashmir. He was a 46-year-old raft guide who died after his craft overturned the Wenatchee River near Dryden last year.
The thing that encapsulates our son the most is that he was an adrenaline junkie, and he lived for excitement in all his jobs.
He had a real way of connecting with people, with the community, whether it was in school or whether it was in the Leavenworth area where all of his tribe hung out, right? So it was, he's a beautiful person. So he had a motto, and the motto was,
live life, love life.
The river was 18 feet swells that day, which should have been okay, but he missed the turn and the raft flipped, and he was in the process of trying to actually get the folks out of the river, out of the water, as he was trained to do. But then he had some asthma issues, and he basically was in distress himself. In retrospect, it may have turned out the same way, but the communication and the plan are really important, I think, beyond whatever the regulations have to say. I think you just have to create a culture of safety and caring.
The Real ID deadline, by the way, is next week. Licensing offices across Washington are seeing increased demand for licenses that you have to use to get through airport security starting on May 7th. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us how the Department of Licensing is handling the influx of customers and what you can do to navigate a busy time to get a Real ID.
Now serving 375 at counter 3.
Last month in March, we had a record of how many people tried to get a first-time enhanced driver's license.
Thomas Charleston with the Department of Licensing says with that record demand across Washington, many of their offices are seeing licensing appointments booked out weeks in advance.
We allow appointments in the Puget Sound area to be booked about 45 or 60 days out, and they're pretty much all booked until June.
One woman at this King County DOL office drove over 30 miles for an appointment to get her enhanced license.
About a month ago, I went to get an appointment and I couldn't find anything remote close to me in Pierce County, so I decided I'd try King County, and I found one in Tukwila.
You heard that right. She had to wait a month just to get an appointment in another county. And while the experience varies across the state, people walking in without an appointment are experiencing up to an hour-long wait in the Puget Sound area.
I'm so glad I got an appointment because it literally took 5 minutes, and the room is full in here, and I don't think they had an appointment.
Charleston says the department is doing the best they can to get people through offices, but it's been complicated by limited staffing because of budget cuts in 2023. He says things are going to be busy for the foreseeable future, but you can always use a passport, tribal ID, or other acceptable document to get through TSA. You can also avoid going to an office as the DOL offers some services online like renewals and changes of address. But if you want to get an enhanced ID now, you can always search for an appointment or walk in. Just be ready to wait and be ready with the right documents.
We do have an online enhanced documents checklist. It'll walk you through the documents that you can use for each requirement.
In Tukwila, I'm Albert James reporting.
A wanted sex offender was arrested by authorities last Thursday after allegedly attempting to elude police. Columbia River Drug Task Force Chief Ryan Moody says authorities attempted to have 40-year-old registered sex offender Joshua J. Clark surrender into custody at the Sunset Motor Inn in East Wenatchee with the help from the East Wenatchee Police Department and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Well, Clark allegedly escaped out of a motel window onto the roof where he used profanities and hand gestures towards law enforcement. Then he jumped from the roof into a fenced area of the Douglas County PUD property, which is right next door. He damaged a vehicle apparently in the process of that. Police say Clark displayed a knife to officers before he was ultimately taken into custody. He's being held at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center for prior warrants as well as potential new charges of second-degree burglary and second-degree malicious mischief. Chelan County Superior Court Judge Travis Brandt ruled on Tuesday that Kashmir High School senior Kate Jacobson is eligible for valedictorian status at graduation. Jacobson, who sued the district in February, is a 4.0 full-time Running Start student who was not officially enrolled at the high school until her senior year. The district said she was ineligible for valedictorian because she had not taken in-person classes at the high school for at least one semester prior to her senior year, but it didn't have a formal written policy. Because there wasn't a formal written policy, Brandt decided that the requirement used by district officials to determine Jacobson's eligibility was invalid. The court also determined there was no harm and is no harm to other students if Jacobson was selected as valedictorian, and he also ordered the district to pay her attorney's fees. The district has 30 days to appeal the ruling. And yeah, we know there's a lot going on this weekend with Apple Blossom and everything else, but Eastmont High School's FFA program wants you to know about its annual plant sale. It starts today. Eastmont High School's video production students put together this preview with all the details for your gardening wish list.
The Eastmont FFA plant sale is May 1st, 3 to 6 p.m., May 2nd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., as well as May 5th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Where is it located?
We are located in the Eastmont High School greenhouses, and we are across from the tennis courts.
This is 5th Street behind the high school. This is where you're going to drive through to get to the plant sale. This is one of the parkings where you guys can park. This is the second parking spots where you can park, and this is where you come in for the plant sale. What type of plants are there?
Okay, we have a lot of different varieties of plants. We have flowers in hanging baskets. We have vegetables, succulents, perennials, and a fan favorite that is called our sweet potato vine.
How long have you been doing the plant sale?
I personally have been doing the plant sale here at Eastmont High School for over 17 years. The plant sale here at the high school has been going on for over 30. So most of the plants that are here were planted by my plant biology students. We also have the FFA students. Eastmont FFA students will come in during different parts of the spring after school, and they will help plant the seeds, plant the plugs, and get all these plants ready for the plant sale.
What's it like being in plant bio?
You get to learn a lot about plants and how to take care of them. And you learn more, like experience-wise, because I had no experience before taking this class. So I have more knowledge now after taking it.
What's been your favorite plant that you've planted?
My favorite plant that I've planted would be the hanging baskets, because you got to choose from many different varieties and colors and just how you wanted it.
Should people go to the plant sale?
I think people should go to the plant sale because there's many different varieties that you can buy, and all of the plant bio students worked really hard to plant these.
And that is the news on this first day of May. The news tonight, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, 5, 6, and 10 on television, online, via our website, NCWLIFE.com, our Facebook page, and our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock, so you can be in the loop on what's going on around here in the Wenatchee Valley in North Central Washington. And send us an email if you think something might be newsworthy. Pretty simple, news@ncwlife.com. Doesn't get any easier than that. Mariners continue to roll right along. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Celebrate this great country during Rockfest in Rock Island the last Saturday in June. Great music, great bands, great fun. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Mark your calendars and be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music until the fireworks start crackling. Contact info@rlstalent.com if you would like to help sponsor this event or bring your awesome food truck. Space is limited. Rockfest at the Rock Island Golf Course, June 28th.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Sports at 22 minutes after the hour. The Mariners scored 6 runs in the 7th inning to win their 7th straight series, 9-3 the final over the Angels yesterday afternoon. Seattle improves to 15-3 in their last 18 games, and they're now 2 games clear of the Astros for the lead in the AL West.
Rosarena leads it off. First pitch tattooed out to left field, demolished and gone. It clanks off the upper deck. All tied at 1.
Goldie, you had a feeling this was coming at some point. 88-mile-per-hour fastball, middle of the plate. The fastball with plus velocity has been an issue for Randy Rosarena. I'll tell you what, sitting 88 middle, crushed it.
Out to left field. Campero cannot make the catch. It bounces in front of him. Garver scores, and the bottom of this Mariners lineup just continues to produce. Once again, Leo Rivas getting on base and giving the Mariners a 2-1 lead.
And here's Soler with 2 out, nobody on. As he drills one toward the left field corner, it's pretty deep, and that ball is gone. A home run. Soler just kept it fair, and he ties the game with a line drive home run.
Broken bat, a little loop, and it drops in for a base hit. Ohapi is coming around. The throw by Rosarena in time, and he's out at home plate.
A laser beam home, cuts down the run, and that's it for the Angels here in the 3rd. We stayed tied. 2-2 the score as Rosarena doing it with the bat, doing it with the glove.
Throw to 3rd. Calrali ducks for cover, and it kicks away. Here comes Cal. He comes home to score. Mariners have taken a 3-2 lead.
I'm not telling you 2-game series, but for Logan Ohapi, behind the plate, does have some issues on the strike. So they're going to challenge him, and Tyler Anderson has that little double clutch leg kick. Just straight off the noggin.
Neto loops one toward the right side. It is handled on the short hop. The throw to first is too late, and the run scores.
I think they might check that one. It was really close, but the run scores the important thing. That's another good job of base running by Capero.
Tied game 3-3, bottom of the 7th. Golden opportunity right here with J.P. Crawford batting. Ground ball, and it snakes through for a base hit. Ribot scores. Samad Taylor racing home without his helmet. 2 are in. J.P. Crawford at the top of the order puts the Mariners in front in the 7th inning.
Now we've seen JP get out in front on those breaking balls a couple times of late and driving into right field. But what about this? Just enough to get that ball through that hole.
Julio 0 for 3. He corks this out to center field. This is way back there for Paris, and it bangs off the wall. Full steam ahead. J.P. Crawford's coming home, flying to the plate. He is safe. Julio drives him in with a wall ball double, and it's 6-3 in the 7th.
Yeah, that ball was hit so well. J.P. had zero hesitation to hold up.
Julio takes off and dives underneath the ball. Something out of the matrix as Julio pops up and scores. That was once in a lifetime right there. Incredible. On the ground, Shotwell has it kick off his glove. Cal Raleigh is in to score. Arozarena trots home. 2 more in the bank for the Mariners. They have dropped 9 runs today on the Angels.
Option down.
On the ground, Williamson with a nifty snare, and there is out number 3. The Mariners just continue.
Mariners start a 6-game road trip tomorrow. They'll take on the Rangers. Brian Wu will take on Jack Leader. First pitch on Root Sports is at 5:05. To the scoreboard we go. The Mariners now have a 2-game lead over Houston and 2.5-game lead over the Rangers and the Athletics, with Detroit beating Houston and the A's knocking off Texas. Prep baseball today. Go out and enjoy a couple of doubleheaders, both starting at 3 o'clock. Grandview is at Quincy. Chelan is at Cascade. Prep softball schedule a little busier. A lot of doubleheaders on board. They'll get going at 2 o'clock with the last of the games. Liberty Bell at Brewster starting at 4:30. Prep soccer, kind of busy. All the small schools are in action for the most part, with Chelan hosting OMAC at 4. A half an hour later, Okanagan welcomes Liberty Bell. 6 o'clock for Orville and Brewster. 7 o'clock tonight for Cascade and Manson. And the Wenatchee Bighorns will try to take 2 more steps towards first place in the Pacific Northwest Division tonight and Friday. The Great Falls Electric in town for a 2-game stop over the next couple of days. Wenatchee is 11-4. They're currently second to Great Falls, but they're the only team to have beaten Great Falls this year. Both games tip off at the Smith Gymnasium at 7 o'clock. WenatcheeBighorns.com for tickets. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It is May Day. It is also National Principals Day, School Principals Day. Most people don't really give the school principal much of a thought. If you're a student, you don't think about the principal much at all, unless you're in trouble. And yes, I was called into Mr. Sears' office, Mr. Pugh's office, and Mr. Burns' office on more than one occasion. And a friendly reminder, almost everybody who's ever a principal was at one time a teacher. So you do have to keep that in mind. Happy School Principals Day today. Today in history, happy birthday to that baby. The Empire State Building is 94 years old today. Opened its doors in 1931. It took only 14 months to build, and then for the next 42 years, it was the tallest skyscraper in the world. Now it's not even in the top 10 tallest skyscrapers in New York City. And by the way, the 2 observation decks make more money for the owners of the entire Empire State Building, collecting fees to go up and look at the city of New York, than it actually make money from collecting rents from tenants. That's where they make their money, the observation decks. 65 years ago today, Francis Gary Powers shot down over the Soviet Union on a spy mission, and then we started lying about it. We had no idea that Francis Gary Powers was alive and that the Soviets had Francis Gary Powers in custody. The cover-up, by the way, didn't work. And happy 54th birthday to Amtrak. It took over operations of all U.S. passenger rail service 54 years ago today. It's still very profitable in the Northeast corridor, not so much around here. And finally, a couple of birthdays. This is an easy one to remember for me because Dad and daughter share the same birthday. First of all, happy birthday to my brother Michael. There's his lovely wife Kay, I believe in San Francisco. Mike knows how old he is, but his daughter, born on the same day, Rachel, there she is. Hi, Rachel. She has a new last name, by the way. She got married. That's an old slide. Rachel is 40. We love you, Rachel, and I can't believe you're 40 years old. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Mike Minotti's got an opinion coming up. Ace Bollinger is going to talk about the Tour de Bloom, which starts tomorrow in Waterville. But Patches the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager. And today I have with me Patches. Patches is our beautiful big German Shepherd mix. We think there might be some Husky in there because of his gorgeous eyes. Yeah, we've had him for a couple weeks now. He came in to us as a stray. And yeah, we think he might be about 7 or so, but he's still got some playful energy. And he's really smart, and we found that he knows all sorts of tricks. He's really fast to respond with the right incentive, being hot dogs and cheese, or probably anything else. He's a really beautiful example of a Husky Shepherd mix, actually. All the best from both. Yeah, yes you are. He loves his walks, and he loves his people time. Yeah, and he's actually been great with our dogs here too. He's polite with them, and yeah, and he likes to play. He's a really good boy. Yes, he's just kind of a sweetheart. It's a big love. Yeah, you are. As usual with strays, we don't know how he is with cats, so we can't recommend that either way. But at least we know that he's pretty good with dogs. As usual, though, we always suggest that you bring your dog in to meet our dogs because that's a very important relationship to get right from the start. He seems to know his sit and his stay, and he's really fast on down. And he will do anything to get your treat, so he'll throw all of them at you at once, including shake. It's pretty funny. I think he may have been a high-powered executive in another life because his handshake is very firm and very assertive. He's a very confident boy. And he's working on spin. That's just kind of my own thing that I like to teach them. Also, we had a volunteer fall so in love with this boy, they couldn't take him, but they did prepay his adoption fee. So we all want him to get a home so badly. So we want to take that out of the picture for anyone interested. Yeah. So if you'd like to come meet our Patches, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6, or you can make an appointment on Wednesday. We'd love to see you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Join us for live coverage of the Classy Chassis Parade presented by Les Schwab on Friday with Grant Olson and Ron Berschauer.
Up in the front, up in the back.
Starting at 6 p.m. It's on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Join us for live coverage of the Stamilt Grand Parade this Saturday with me, Eric Grandstrom, former Apple Blossom Queen Julie Agins-Coons.
That's all you have to say.
And Grant Olson, beginning at 11 a.m. on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Best for Less sales event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires, and every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. With a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. It's our best deal on our best tires with the best service in the business. Get more from Les.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Great glorious spring, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions is your go-to lady shopping experience in downtown Wenatchee. Special occasion dresses are arriving daily for moms, grandmothers, and friends and family. Sundresses, capris, tees, tanks, shorts, skirts hit the floor. Trusted quality brands such as Tribal, Charlie B, French Dressing Cut, and Liverpool. Comfy and cute sandals from Soft, Bueno, Volatile, Fly London, to name a few. Brighten Mother's Day with a gift from Collins in downtown Wenatchee.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, a political personality, a man suspected of planning on running for president, is selling Bibles. Okay, all right, look, I'm a fan of the Bible. I read some of it almost every day, and I do try, with limited success, I admit, to follow Jesus' teachings. But are we really expected to believe that this politician cum Bible salesman's motive is anything less than pandering to curry the favor of evangelicals? I mean, come on, gosh. Look, vote for the guy if you want to. But believing the shameless move with Bible sales is anything more than a brazen attempt to manipulate people is ridiculous. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The 106th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival's second weekend is jam-packed with multiple events, including the Classy Chassis Parade on Friday night and the Stimilk Growers Grand Parade on Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon and night brings the Tour de Bloom to downtown Wenatchee, and the Arts and Crafts Fair at Memorial Park runs through Sunday. Info at appleblossom.org.
Spring into the good life. World-class wine, food, and hospitality meet on the shores of Lake Chelan. Chelan Cellars, bringing great wine, food, friends, and family together where vineyards and the good life bloom every spring.
Tipsy Canyon Winery has become the place to go for fine wine and unbelievable views of the Chelan Valley. Tipsy Canyon Winery is a year-round destination for wine lovers, so stay for the moment that becomes the memory at Tipsy Canyon Winery.
Hey. If it feels like everything you say to your teenager goes in one ear and out the other, you're not alone. But even when it seems like they aren't listening, they are, especially when it comes to a topic like drugs. Find time in everyday moments to share facts, teach refusal skills, and answer their questions about drugs, including opioids like fentanyl, because your words matter. Get the conversation started today.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Started out with a phone call with Darcy Christopherson 10, 12 years ago. Hey, we want to do a little bicycling racing in downtown Wenatchee as part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Darcy gave the green light. Ain't necessarily a thing to do. And now it's back again for the 12th or 13th year. It's bigger and better than ever, as is my guest, Ace Bollinger, who's basically the daddy of Tour de Bloom 2025 back here. 6 events over 5 days celebrating Great racing, and of course the Apple Blossom Festival. Ace, is good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
You're looking well?
Oh, well, trying to. Yeah, but putting a race of this magnitude on is a little stressful and daunting at times.
You are head due to the Velo Club too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Wenatchee Valley Velo Club, which is a nonprofit cycling club here in the valley.
And a thriving one at that.
Yes, we do our best to promote and protect cycling in the Wenatchee Valley.
Take us back 2012, whenever it was, the first one. Hey, we got to close the downtown streets, and we got to do this and that and the other thing, and yet they said, "What? Let's give it a run. See what happens."
So we came off a dismal year of racing. Like 3 days before, we had under 100 racers. And we were bouncing around from a weekend here, weekend there, weekend in May, weekend in June, trying to get our spot on the calendar. And I met Craig Still down there at Garlini's. There might have been a beer involved in that. And we're like, what can we do to make this race better? And I said, why don't we run it after the Grand Parade at Apple Blossom? He looked at me like I was like talking in tongues, like, there's no way. We called Darcy up. Darcy said, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's see. Darcy's such a great visionary on, hey, what can we do to make not only the festival better, but Wenatchee better? She's always been forward thinking on it. She goes, let's give it a try, boys. And we've been on that date ever since. And our numbers have grown exponentially. 2 years ago, we had our best year. We had 349 racers come. Last year, we were at 559. And this year, currently, we're at 605 racers coming from all across the Pacific Northwest, and really this year all across the globe.
How can you account for that? Why the sudden growth in this event?
I think it's a plethora of things, but this year especially, we have gone up to the international level. So what we've raced before is USA Cycling, and so we've been offering the top level in the nation at that. This year we went to the UCI, which is the Union of Cyclists International, and so we are one of only 2 UCI women events in all of North America this year. One was just this last weekend, a tour of the Gila down in Silver City, New Mexico, and us. So it's 2, and so we've got teams from Spain, we got teams from Mexico, South America. We even have the Iranian national team coming. Their visas were just approved by the state district last week.
Wow! So getting that accreditation is huge, and the word gets out of the bicycling community, right?
Absolutely.
The serious cyclists have said, "Hey, you should come to Wenatchee that first weekend in May because they got their act together."
Yeah, we like to pride ourselves a long time ago, and this might be kind of a play of old, but we always like to think we were the Nordstroms of cycling. These are our customers. You treat them right, you feed them right, they're gonna come back. And our whole team is very responsive and very receptive to the cycling needs of the community. And 98% of our racers come from that I-5 corridor from Vancouver, Washington to Vancouver, BC. And so we have a big following there. And plus, who wouldn't, look at this weather, who wouldn't want to come over to Wenatchee and race their bikes? The community rolls out the carpet for them. Everybody has a great time. It's just fantastic.
Most people think, when they think about the races, is what's going to happen on Saturday night. The Criterium Pro and Amateur races presented by Rookard Pools. That's right down the road from us. And we're going to talk about that in a separate interview. So I'm going to have you, Ace, handle all of the other deals. First of all, it's 5 days, 6 stages. It starts Friday up on the plateau, the Still Properties Waterville Road Race, and that brings out a lot of people. So talk about stage one.
Well, that's one of our oldest and most iconic courses up there in Waterville, because Waterville's flat, right? If you've ever been at Waterville, that's not the truth. It's rolling terrain. What is so unique about that course in the racing perspective is that you get 4 direct directions. You get north, south, east, and west, and we all know that the wind's going to blow up there. It's just what directions are going to blow. You're going to have a headwind on a certain stretch. You're going to have a tailwind. You're going to have a crosswind to where the bike's echelon all the way across there. So it really, as that first stage, brings it. You got to have a good team with you. You got to have good thought going forward. How are we going to tackle this course? The elite men are going to do 89 miles that day. The elite women are going to do 58. So it's a daunting task up there. I think our greatest accomplishment with that is not only having a great sponsor in Still Properties that are one of the founding families up there in the Waterville area, but also we reached out a long time ago to the high school, to the athletic department, and said, hey, we need help. We need volunteers to put this on. And so every year for the last 6 or 7 years, we have all the kids, they only go to school 4 days a week. So on that Friday, they come out, and it really is a neat and unique concept, because we tell our racers, like, hey, here are these athletes supporting athletes. And so you've got kids out there, from 7th, 8th grade up to high schoolers, they're signs, they get it, the racers get it. It's just a really good community feeling up there. So
and the kids are going, that looks like fun. I think I'll go down to Arrowburg and get me a bike. Right?
Exactly, right? Yeah, the Pattons love it, right? So yeah, we do that. We'll be racing up there. Starts at 9. We should be done about 4 o'clock. The winner of each race gets a custom cowboy hat with the Waterville race champion on there. You'll see a lot of those Saturday night down there at the Rickard Custom Pools crit. Saturday morning, we jump up to the Mission Ridge hill climb. So this is for amateurs only. It's not for the women elite or the men elite. And so basically, we're going to, everybody's going to park at Mission Ridge. So they're going to ride down the hill to the bottom of Squilchuck State Park. And then they're going to ride 4 1/4 miles, about 1,800 feet of climbing up to the top. We're anticipating the fastest participant will be sub 20 minutes. So, I mean, and that's a real grind. With the, for all the photo opportunities and whatnot, it's a great opportunity to get up there and watch those guys climb and just some spectacular scenery.
And that's Saturday morning, and that's for amateurs.
Yes, yep, for amateurs. That starts at 9. We will have our finish line is right up there at Mission Ridge. So if you wanted to go up there and sit on their beautiful sun deck and enjoy the sun and have a coffee or a cold beer, you could sit there and watch everybody finish up there. We'll have some tunes spinning. It'll be a pretty good vibe on that. So yeah, that'll be good.
And then Saturday night, again, we'll be talking about the big downtown criterium with a second interview.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning, downtown Plain.
Sunday morning is the Arlberg Sports Road Race. We originally had done that on Fridays, and we switched over to Sundays, and with huge success on that, we engage the community quite like what we do in Waterville. We reach out to the Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue Crew, and they come out with 50+ volunteers. So when you're out there, you see the moms and the pops and the grandmas and grandpas, and some people have had their same spot, their same corner for 10+ years. They're like, oh no, that's my corner there, and they're proud of it. It really is. We kind of bring the Plain community together. We have the Old Mill restaurant up there. They supply sandwiches for us. And we start at Plain Cellars. Bob Sage and his new guy Eric Anderson up there rolled the carpets out for us. They've secured parking. It's great. You get done on Sunday. The amateurs. That's the last day of the amateurs. So there's always some. We give out a nice bottle of wine from there. We also have a ceremonial hatchet. We've been known that 1 year we gave out a 6-pack of beer, and a hatchet went to the beer can. Yes, you can only did someone get that on camera? Please tell me someone got that on camera.
They race to Plain and back, but you go all the way basically to where the Cougar Inn used to be.
Yes.
And then you go back the other way, but it's not exactly the same back and forth. You mixed up the bit.
So there's a 25-mile circuit that spins around there, and yes, we take that waterfront road around there. I call it Pine Cone Alley, because you can go there and clean all the pine cones, and an hour later you got pine cones on the ground. It's tight, it's twisty, it's technical, it's a lot of fun. The racers love it. But the unique thing about that is we have the last about a mile and a quarter is straight up Beaver Hill. So that's where the finish is at. And if you're interested in watching some incredible cyclists climb, that's a great place to watch that race as they get up there. And it's just like pure exhaustion. There's some guys that get across that line, and you got to help catch them so they don't drop over. So yeah.
That's the last of the amateur events, but the elites and the pros, they're not done yet.
Nope. We got 2 more days.
Talk about those.
So Monday, we have the Builders First Source time trial out at Palisades. We picked that road because it's one of the least used roads in Douglas County. It's also somewhat of a dead end because it goes from pavement to gravel. And this year we're going all the way to the end, and we're starting from the end and going out 30 kilometers, so it's about 18 miles. And that should be a lot of fun to watch that. It's it's quiet roads, it's good pavement. Douglas County has they're great to work with. They permit us with Waterville, they permit us with that, and they have Douglas County deputies that come out and help us. So yeah, the time trial is the true test. It's a test of, it's you against the clock. You can't draft. It's just you out there giving it your best. And there'll be some cyclists that will, fastest I'm going to assume going to be about 38 to 42 minutes. And you'll see some wattage averages probably in the 500 to 600s over that amount of time, which is absolutely
How do they do that race if it's just a time trial? It's not a race, as you mentioned. You're racing against the clock. How do you keep the fact that you can't be drifting behind another cyclist? Is it like every 5 minutes?
So the women elite, the UCI women, they'll start 1 minute apart. And so yes, and you can't, if you can pass a cyclist, you just can't come up right to them. You got to go all the way around them. I believe it's you got to have a 7 meters, and then you got to give them it's 7 meters and 3 meters, and then you got to get over right away and whatnot, and make sure they're not drafting on you and everything like that. But we have 20 UCI and USAC officials. And we have motorcycle officials out there to make sure that nobody is drafting and whatnot. So,
and the final event, I got a kick out of this. The legendary, and we miss Ed a lot.
Yes.
We miss Ed.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I said, okay, well, they start at Lincoln Park, they end at Mission Ridge. How hard can that be? And then I looked at the map and I said, good God, talk about this.
Well, so in any great stage race, you always have what they call a queen stage. And that's the stage that is the toughest. That's the stage that's the most technical. That's the stage that really tests the mettle of the cyclist. And, Ed Farah, rest in peace, Ed, was one of the founders of Wenatchee Valley Velo. And we all know the success that Tyler Farah had with the Tour de France. And these are the roads that Ed taught Tyler how to ride, and the roads that Tyler went up there to train so that he could become a professional cyclist. And it's a tough, it's 65 miles, almost 9,000 feet of climbing. Like you said, and that's Biosports. When we told Dustin Smart, the new owner of Biosports, about that, he's like, I want in. He was a great friend of Ed, and he's like, I want to sponsor this. So Biosports is presenting the Ed Farah, and that's just what we're calling it, is the Ed Farah. It's not memorial. It's just the Ed Farah road race.
I think that's the way he'd prefer it, too.
Yes, absolutely. He probably doesn't even like us talking about that. But yeah, so we'll be out there at Malaga. We'll be spinning some laps around the Malaga golf course out on those roads. They're going to climb Joe Miller not once but twice. They're going to descend down Stemilt Road there, back to the highway. They're going to climb it again. They'll take the Wenatchee Height roads, which, if you're a cyclist here in town, that's the holy grail, right? It is fantastic. It's technical. It's tight. It's twisty. It's got everything that you want. And some of the road racers that have been up there, and they tell me, this is fantastic, because the roads are small enough that a racer can get away. One of the complaints that cyclists from Europe have about racing in America is the roads are always too wide. So you always kind of know where everybody's at. It's when you get those tighter roads and they're twisty and they're technical is when someone can pop out and you kind of lose track of them. Like, oh, I got to go after them. So yeah, after going across the heights and descending, screaming down the Heights Road, they're going to take a left at Squilchuck and climb about 6 miles all the way to the top. And once again, we're going to finish up in Mission Ridge. The last 200 meters of it is on gravel. And so, we invite everybody to come up there and watch that. So basically on Tuesday, May 6th, go up there and have a cold beer and on that sun deck and look over and watch them finishing. And it should be spectacular.
And I need to point this out. Yes, for all of these things, there'll be a pilot car and there'll be some law enforcement people keeping an eye on stuff. But for the Tuesday race, there'll be some pilot cars, but for the most part, you're on your own, motorists. This is very important because the cyclists are going to be out there.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you drive around the Malaga, Stemilt, Mission Ridge area and the Wenatchee Heights, keep an eye out for these cyclists on Tuesday, because a lot of these guys are going to be separated from the pack. And you got to be on your best behavior.
Exactly. Well, and what we have is what is called a rolling enclosure. So we have 2 law enforcement. This year, we partnered with Douglas County Sheriff's Department. Will be out there. So they'll be at the front. And if they encounter any cyclists or any motorists coming at the race, they'll ask them to pull over and stay there until the bikes go by. And it's a daunting caravan. When you're at this UCI level, we have 4 or 5 commissaires, which are the referees. We'll have a dozen motorcyclists. We'll have 23 team cars. We'll have a team doctor, Dr. Tom Ettinger, is helping us with that. And you got Ballard Ambulance out there. So, we do the best we can to protect the cyclists. So, if you do see us coming or whatnot, pull over, enjoy the show. Yes, you might have a slight 5 to 8 minute delay, But you know, it'll be sunny out. It'll be a good time, right?
Ace, as the race director, the man in charge of the entire 5-day party, how many phone numbers do you have in your cell phone? I dare ask.
I think I don't know which is worse. I list numbers under bike riders and pickleball players. So if your name comes up and there's a PB underneath there, oh, he's a pickleball player. If it comes under what team name you are, if it's like, oh, hey, here's Jeff Werner from Red Kilo in Vancouver, Canada, it's like, I mean, otherwise you can't keep them straight.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everything that we talked about, if you go to Apple Blossom's website, you'll see the link that'll take you right to the Tour de Bloom website. Everything is there. The maps, the schedules, how to do everything you could possibly. It's a very well done website. By the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've worked hard on that and whatnot. Yeah. Another very exciting thing that we have this year is we do have a production team coming out of South America that is going to be broadcasting the whole race. They have a following of 400,000 people, Spanish speaking. So we also have an English commentator that will be doing that. Brad Sonar is going to be doing that as well. That live stream, if you want to catch any of that, will be on our website, which is www.tourdebloom.com.
On tomorrow's edition of this program, we're going to concentrate on one event only, the most spectacular, spectator-friendly event of the entire 5-day party of Tour de Bloom. That's the downtown part of it, which is a blast because I've never missed it. And we'll have that on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Ace, it's good to see you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
We will be right back.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, Washington Trust Bank can help you get there. Learn more at watrust.com/awesome.
The warm-up has begun. It was 48 when this show started an hour ago. It's now 52, and we're going to be a good 20 degrees warmer than that. High pressure is right over the middle of north central Washington. It moved in during the course of the day yesterday. It's centered here. It's going to gradually morph its way eastward, but for the next 2 days, it is looking absolutely fantastic. We'll be back up into the lower 80s on Friday. Don't forget your sunscreen out and about. And there are some people who just aren't ready for the heat yet. Just a friendly reminder. Going to be pretty warm, and then a big change Friday night into Saturday, and unfortunately of the 7-day forecast period you're about ready to see. Saturday, Stimulk Grower Grand Parade Day, is the least comfortable day of the 7-day forecast. The trough that's going to come in Friday night is so big it takes up almost the entire west coast of this country, all the way to the Gulf of Alaska. I went and looked at the map that Grant used yesterday during the weather forecast. It starts up in Alaska and it ends in Southern California. That's how big this deep trough is coming in, but it's not going to last real long. We're going to have a little bit of rain overnight Friday into Saturday morning, but by the time the parade begins at 11 a.m., we should be dry, although it's going to be windy. And a friendly reminder, if for whatever reason you don't want to fight with the crowds or whatever the case may be, if you still want to enjoy the Stimulk Growers Grand Parade, we will have it for you, of course, as we have for many, many years right here on the NCWLIFE channel. We'll take to the air at 11 o'clock, and the parade will come by our location at about 11:15 or so. All right, from the National Weather Service, here you go. Sunshine today, 76. 51 for the overnight low tonight. We go up to 81, at least on Friday. Could be even warmer than that in many locations. And then Friday night is when the system comes in. The clouds will be thickening up. The overnight low is going to be pretty mild, but we're going to have a little bit of light rain, and then it's going to be a little breezy on Saturday. But again, by parade time, by 11 a.m., should be done with the wet stuff. No sunshine on Saturday, just clouds and windy, and highs in the mid-60s. And then we go right back up into the 80s by the early part of next week. That's it for us. Enjoy your first day of May. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.